Baseball is back.
That's right. Baseball is back.
First round pick.
Hey, throw that list away, all right?
Why are we around? Let
Yo, welcome to the show. It's a Chiefs Blitz night. Breaking down the plays, keeping everything tight. From my homes to the defense, we give you the scoop. Real talk, real stats, we the ultimate troop. This ain't no game, it's our passion on display.
The baby
Chiefs
himself.
Blitz podcast, real fans unite. Every touchdown scored, we ignite the night. From tailgate chatter to post-game debate, we love our Chiefs, yes, never too late.
I would even bring MBS back in the middle of the season.
Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Bar, sponsored by ChiefsBlitz.com, presented by UnderdogFantasy.com. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense Todd.
Welcome back to the next edition of Four Guys in a Bar. We are presented by ChiefsBlitz.com, your top source for Chiefs news, information, and this amazing podcast. I'm your host, Nick Athan, along with Mr. Hense Todd, my producer extraordinaire on this project. A few technical difficulties today, right, buddy? It happens.
You hit the wrong button as well coming in. So
You got two choices of the button. You hit the right one or the wrong one. That's how life is, right?
yeah. Thank you everybody for being patient with us, man. You had a little technical difficulties earlier this morning. My computer restarted on me out of nowhere. But with that said, man, let's get right into our sponsor that you saw at the first part of the show. Baseball is back.
That's right. Baseball is back on Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you cash in today. You can play the pick'em game. It's very similar to what you did with the NFL. We're doing the Chiefs stuff. Now it's all about baseball and especially the Royals. You can go higher or lower. It's really simple to use. Their app is amazing. You just choose your entry fee. You decide what you want to play, and you just see the winnings coming if you know what you're doing. So take a swing today and make sure that you sign up for Underdog Fantasy, and they're going to give you a meatball right off the gamut, Bobby Wood Jr. special. So start with a W for your first entry and new customers. Make sure you use the code Chiefs Blitz.
That is right. Underdog Fantasy is our title sponsor. I want to introduce the other guys, Mr. Lou Montagna.
Hey,
Mr. Hense Todd. Maybe we need some cheers or something in the background, to kind of add a little excess flavor.
Hey now.
Not the smallest violin. But
we got a little applause track, don't we? Don't we have that?
Again, apologize everybody for starting the show late. But people are logging on and taking view of the Hump Day edition of Four Guys in a Bar again.
I think we switched over. We switched over to that dial-up service, right? Isn't that new?
That?
Dial-up service? Isn't that
What's
new?
that, Netgear? Is that what it's called?
I don't know, but it seems like
yeah, that familiar sound. That.
Yeah. Get those modems pumping.
Yeah. Shit, that's old school, man.
The young crew, like, completely is.
Yeah, people don't know that. Unless you've seen the movie WALL-E, the Disney classic, then no, you wouldn't understand what we're talking about.
That was like AOL, wasn't it?
Netscape.
Sure. That was
plenty of them. Yeah, sure.
Jeez.
Let's go. Hey,
we
got a draft coming up. But first, about going back to Underdog, how are those torpedo bats doing? I mean, it was like this huge story.
I don't think they're allowed to use them anymore, are they?
Well, no, I don't see why not. No, they're legal. They're completely legal.
Yeah, I don't think the Yankees are using it
anymore.
Their record isn't reflecting that.
But I guess going back to what I had said is no matter what you have in your hands, you still have to hit the damn ball. Okay. Mm-hmm. So regardless of whether you're swinging a 2x4 or a 7-iron, whatever, you still got to make contact. Right. So
how the hell gonna you swing that damn 2x4, man? They're gonna bust that wrist up. I'll tell you that shit.
Give me Bo Jackson could go up there with a 2x4 and I think hit 300. Okay.
Probably.
So what do we got today, Hensley? Let's go.
Come on, man.
Hey, Barry Bonds
is sitting here. I'm shriveling up. I'm an old man. Come on.
Hey, listen, Barry Bonds is the best baseball player ever.
Oh, please.
Okay.
Stop it.
See, very on
Barry
brand.
Bonds is going to set the tone today, gentlemen.
Yes.
Barry
absolutely.
Bonds is the greatest hitter of all time.
Yeah.
I know everybody saying he got bigger.
Ask him how he got neck mass.
I'm
Hey,
all
how he got
I'm
muscles
all
in
in.
his
Nick,
neck.
it's called training. Nick, it's called
being
training,
a
man.
scrawny little something to a steroid user. Yeah, I
I'm
know.
all about
Man.
Pete
It got those. It got
Rose.
those neck weights. You got those big neck
Give me
weights,
Pete
man.
Rose every day
It's
of the week.
physically impossible to gain that much muscle.
That's
with a
how Barry
massive
Bonds
neck.
was. He was something special, man.
Yeah.
So with that said, man, let's get into our updates. You know what I mean, of the show. Go ahead, Nick.
Let's go. All right. Xavier Worthy and his ex-fiance Tia Jones
TMZ
have
making
both
an
dropped-
appearance. Beautiful.
What's that?
TMZ making an appearance.
Yeah,
on our
TMZ.
show.
You know, this is TMZ's first introduction
Shout
to the
out
Chiefs Blitz
TMZ
podcast.
Todd.
Shout out to them.
Let's go.
They reached a mutual agreement on Tuesday, thus ending their very public spat in which one accuses one of one, another accuser, but there were definitely some physical appearances that poor Xavier Worthy had to deal with. But bottom line is it's settled. Both attorneys made statements. Xavier made a statement. She made a statement. And I don't anticipate any suspension for Xavier Worthy. So let's just not go there. Rasheed Rice is the only one facing suspension.
Bottom line here is both attorneys made a lot of money. End of the day, boom, that's it.
Yeah.
Wipe our hands. It was a nothing burger.
Well,
but
Let's hope the kid learns his lesson. All right, just learn your lesson. Run her through mommy first, and make sure mommy likes her first.
Only thing that was missing, man. Somebody's hair got knocked loose. But hey, is what it is. They settled it. It's all.
He's got to compare notes with Jaden Daniels' mom. Let's get Jaden Daniels' mom.
It's all settled, and that's the good thing. We didn't talk a lot about this because I really don't like to talk about. I really don't like to talk about this kind of stuff, but I thought it was worthy today. Pun intended.
Good one, Nick. Wow, that was damn. That was Bill Burr-esque.
Bill Burr-esque.
Worthy.
Not a
beautiful.
All right.
Was she worthy? That's the real question.
Making jokes. This is good.
So with that said, let's get into our next update, Nick.
All right. The Chiefs, per rap sheet, have scheduled a top 30 visit with Tennessee defensive tackle Omar Norman Lott. Don't know if his any relation to Ronnie Lott or not, but again, the Chiefs are looking heavy, defensive tackle and offensive tackle. They're certainly bringing a lot of those guys in. That's for sure.
They bringing in the beef, gentlemen. Yeah. They went vegan in the Super Bowl. They got tired of the vegan shit, so they got to bring in more beef, more protein. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, sometimes you got to bring the beef, and I hope like hell they do. Shit, hell, they need that shit.
I think that's the plan.
Yeah, everybody said we need the beef, man. Yeah.
It's one guy that made me and Lou's draft board that they brought in. Go ahead and read this update.
All right, here we go. The next update coming fast and furious. Alabama defensive end Q Robinson, per Schultz report, our good friend, has indicated the Chiefs will have a top 30 visit with him as well. Again, guys, Chiefs are going to take at least 2, maybe even 3 defensive linemen in this draft, is my prediction.
Yeah, I think Q.
First round.
Like Hense was saying, I had him on one of my mock drafts going back. He's got, a lot of untapped potential. A lot of these kids, Alabama, Georgia, they come in, they don't tend to get, unless they're like the superstars, tend to get a ton of snaps. Now he's a little leaner. I think he goes about 240, 245. So should be interesting. I had him in the 7th round. It wasn't like I was projecting him early, but got to do your due diligence, bring in the guys that you think can, maybe be one of those 7th round picks that Veach seems to treasure and really hit on. So
well, you're going to get 2 years out of them 7th round picks because Parkland had 2 good strong years, man. So them 7th round picks, you only get 2 good years from them, man. So we'll see. We'll see, man.
I don't know. I think Jalen Watson turned out pretty good. So
well, I guess he will. He's all right. I guess my man got smoked. My man got smoked in the Super Bowl too. Next update.
All right, Chiefs also brought in defensive lineman Tyrion Ingram Dawkins, again per Schultz report. Again,
they're going off of my mock drafts, man.
Yeah, he must be stealing
Shout out to Lou. Shout out to Lou, man. Lou is eating today. You hear me? Eating today, man.
He must be stealing it. But again, guys, if you don't see the trend, and I don't think this is something the Chiefs can avoid, because I think every single mock draft, virtually all of them I've seen, it's either offensive tackle or defensive line. is where they're going to go. So, they're going to select a running back or a wide receiver. So
that's right, man.
Happens.
They trying to build that great wall up. Yeah,
I don't think it's any secret or anything. I think that everybody is telling you this draft is really deep in the defensive line, somewhat offensive line, maybe not so much at the top, but in the middle. You got a ton of running backs, but that's defensive line.
You got to eat your vegetables, gentlemen. Eat your vegetables, man.
I mean, in the first 3 rounds, you might see 35 defensive linemen go.
Hey, that mean they all eating their vegetables, man. No more the icing. We ain't talking about receivers and shit. We ain't talking running backs, receivers. That's icing. We need your foundation to be sturdy, gentlemen. I'm loving what I'm saying over here, man. All defensive linemen, nothing but pure grade A quality beef. That's all I want to see, man.
Hey, 100% ground beef.
100% ground beef.
Some of these guys wind up being ground beef and won't play very well, but we'll see what happens.
That's what I said.
We need some lean beef now. We don't need no ground. We need some lean.
We don't need no lean.
We need
all right.
Good oxtail out there.
You beefed the topic to death. All right.
Some good oxtail, man. Need some good oxtail out there.
Damn, Nick is rolling today.
All right. Albert Breer discusses the Chiefs' approach heading into the draft, and his quote. I do think tackle would be the first thing they'd look at. So if Ohio State's Josh Simmons or Oregon's Josh Connerly Jr. were there, it'd be very hard for the Chiefs to pass. If it's a defensive player, I think Notre Dame's Benjamin Morrison would be an interesting one to look at, maybe in the second round. He's big, he's smart, he's versatile, and he'll go a little later because of the injury he had his senior year. Again, I would be if the Chiefs took Simmons or Connolly in the first round and came back and got Morrison, I'm all in. I think that would be great.
You'll get Morrison in the second round, though. You'll get Morrison in the second round if they go Connolly. If
they don't go off the tackle in round 1, they're going defensive. They're going defensive line in round 2. There's no question about it.
Okay, let's back up a second. Go put the graphic back up. I want to make sure I have the right guy. Okay, Benjamin Morrison's a corner. Okay. He's had 2 hip injuries while he's at Notre Dame.
Sorry, my bad.
And this is the second one. So I think that's the first thing. Is he going to be healthy or whatever, all this other stuff. But no, I mean he is a good corner, and he may not be in the top 3 or 4, but he's certainly in that next group. And some people may have him in their top 3 or 4, probably at 3 or 4. Obviously, you've got Travis Hunter, at the very top, and then some of the other guys that we've talked about. But
it's only one game, sir.
I would be
destroyed.
A little bit surprised if they decided to go Morrison in the second round.
You'll go Morrison second round. I wouldn't go Morrison in the second round. I wouldn't do it.
I'd be surprised. I think I said if they go Morrison in the second round. So I'll go kicker Albert Breer. I mean, he's got a lot of contacts around the league. maybe he's hearing things and so forth.
Yeah, he could be high on their draft board.
And there's a lot of smoke screens at this time of year. But
I believe they should go special teams in the early second round, though.
In the trenches, I think is where they're probably going to stick, unless, like I said, one of those special playmakers falls in their lap at 31 or 63. Right.
Yeah.
In terms of the running backs, I don't know that any of the top end in the top like 3 or 4 running backs will be there at 63. Right.
You talking about second round?
Somebody.
Come on, second round.
63.
Jesus, I know what that means. My bad. I'm about to say, don't scare me, Lou. Okay. Second round, running back.
There's 32 in the first round. Okay.
That's right.
So that would be the second round pick. But if you have somebody like a Luther Burden shows up, and those 2 tackles that you think might have a chance to go with that pick are gone,
right?
And the running backs that you liked, if Hampton doesn't fall, right? It's going to be awfully hard. I mean, because you really want to get a playmaker at that point. And if they don't want to do that, then certainly the trade back would be the way to go. But yeah, I think Morrison in the second round, I think, would be a little rich for their blood. So
come on,
I wouldn't be opposed to drafting a corner.
That boy's banged up.
I don't know if where they pick, it's going to kind of fit value wise.
Yep. Well,
if the one of my favorite receivers that's my top receiver. Not Xavier Williams. I know that's my other guy.
Shit,
But
you got me.
only gonna pick Xavier Williams because the kid from Arizona, T Mac, is always at the top. But if he realistic falls to the Kansas City Chiefs at 31, I can't see them passing on him.
You have to take him.
That's somebody that's there. It's somebody that Patrick Mahomes never had. Rasheed Rice.
He never had an offensive tackle, a good ass tackle. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna let y'all do it, man. All this candy, man.
All right, just so we're clear, Coach.
Get your protein.
The Chiefs have a starting left tackle right now.
Eat your vegetables and your sweets.
He's the guy. He's the guy in 2025. No matter what they do in the first round, if you get a top flight offensive player that's available and your tackles are off the board.
Yeah, the tackle
is off the board.
Okay.
You take, if the kid from Arizona falls, you can't pass up on him. You can't do it. Mm-hmm. I think if Harrison falls, you can't pass him up. I mean, you have to look realistically, and then we're all still assuming that the Chiefs are going to pick in the first round, and I'm probably 60-40 leaning toward they won't to pick up an extra third or fourth round pick and maybe get an extra pick next year.
I think
especially
it depends on how those
quarterbacks
go.
Yep, exactly.
Right? Because if, say, a Jackson Dart is still sitting there, or Milrow, which one of the more amazing things I've seen is he's supposedly got an invitation to the draft.
Yeah, my favorite quarterback.
I don't know that he's understood that either. I don't know that he's accepted it. I don't know that it's actually official that they did, but there is word out there that potentially he did. But for them to do that, that's putting a lot of pressure on the kid, or they know something that it sounds like most people don't.
I'm trying to tell you.
See. So if one of those guys is sitting there, right? Or if a Tet McMillan is falling, there's got to be a reason he would fall to that point, right? And I don't know if it's something that he said on a podcast 2 years ago is going to follow him. But if in the in-person interviews, for some reason, they just all of a sudden just decide that everything that he did at Arizona, everything that he did at Arizona really doesn't matter. It's just what we're seeing now, that, again, that Chiefs draft pick becomes even more valuable because there might be some team that says, screw it, we'll go up there and get our playmakers. Right. So they're really in a good position. I ain't trading back shit. I still think it seems like there's still like a lot of panic out there and just a lot of like doubt speak among the fan group that they just feel like the Chiefs are ready to fall off a cliff. And if they don't like do something right away, they're just going to be awful next year. So I just don't get that.
So with that said, man, I have a surprise. It's going to be, well, I'll say that for the show.
You got a surprise?
He gonna say surprise. They're gonna say wait. Man, what were you saying, man?
It's one of the topics. I'm about to give it up. I bring it in.
He already spoke on it now.
So with that said, man, hey, let's get into our let's get into Chiefs.
Of course, it's that time, gang. Let's go. Strike it. Nah, you don't have to strike up the band. I'll make the music.
All instrumental. Going silent.
Here we go. So, took a little different approach this week for Chiefs Draft Who. The first two questions really don't have any. Well, one of them has something to do with the Chiefs. This is just a general draft question. And we talk about how great a program Ohio State is. And they've been really good lately, putting a lot of wide receivers in the league, skill positions, and so forth. But when was the last time an Ohio State player went number one overall?
Oh, it was it's a Heisman Trophy winner running back. I can't think of his name.
You got some feedback there? Is that us?
I don't know.
Sound like a little static, a little love on the mic. That's what it is.
Okay, so anyway, there was this Ohio State player back a few years, was a number one overall pick, even though
Kareem said Eddie George.
Wasn't Eddie George. Wasn't Archie Griffin, but good guess. Yeah, John, LOL, got you there. I'll give you a hint. He was selected by one of Coach's many teams, the Cincinnati Bengals.
Marvin Harrison, man. Shit. He should have said the Bengals, damn it. Shit, I had it.
Okay, so Marvin Harrison
I was excited. Man.
Marvin Harrison played for I don't know, the Colts.
Marvin. Oh, hell, what are you saying, Lou? I'm thinking Ohio, Marvin Harrison,
the number one pick overall, the last one from Ohio State.
Okay, I got you. Oh, yes. They said just in general. He did go first round though.
Okay. Number one pick overall. Okay, I guess this one went over like a lead balloon. In 1994, defensive tackle Dan Wilkinson went to the Cincinnati Bengals, number one overall.
Danny Wilkinson.
All right, so in 2022, the Chiefs famously traded up with the Buffalo Bills to take T. Cuffs. Okay, who was picked just before T. Cuffs in that same draft? Put your hands up, everybody. I want to see your hands.
Put your hands up.
Put your hands up. Don't flash the screen. What are we doing, man?
Don't put the screen on there, slick.
We are on the honor system. Let's put our hands up anyway because I don't trust you.
Sorry, I was responding to a text. I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, yeah, we're just doing a show here. It's live. Don't worry about me. Go ahead. And everybody, check your email. Do whatever you got to do. Before T. Cuffs, it was number 20, Kenny Pickett to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I knew it.
If you guys in the chat want to follow along, these guys evidently are busy, so let's go. In 2017, the first round, the Chiefs famously traded up for Patrick Mahomes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In that same draft, there was 2 first-round picks that later became Kansas City Chiefs. You don't have to get both of them. You can just get one if you like. But 2 other guys that went in the first round of Patrick's draft also played for the Chiefs at some point.
I think Ross was one of them, correct?
Yes, John Ross, number 9, also to the Cincinnati Bengals. He was a member of the Chiefs for 7 months, never played in a game.
Yeah.
January to July, and retired. He came back with Philly last year and then was cut, and it was just a big mess. But he's one. There is another one, though. John Harrison,
Come on, Kingdom. Come on. Earn your stripes today, guys. Kareem, earn your stripes. Earn your stripes, Kareem. Ruben, where you at now? Y'all Kingdom, come on. Dig deep. Dig deep with your hands up, man.
All right. So later on in that draft, number 28, Taco Charlton.
That's right.
From Michigan, went to the Dallas Cowboys and later on became a Kansas City Chiefs. So
Taco Charlton. Kareem said Sammy.
All right. Last one. And this was a bounty here in 2015. One of Hensley's favorite players of all time in the first round at pick number 18, the Kansas City Chiefs selected from Washington, the corner, Marcus Peters.
Boo.
Later on in that draft, there are 4 first rounders from that draft that eventually became Kansas City Chiefs. Wide open. There's 4 of them. So just name one, name 2, whatever you got. 2015. Some of these guys got rings.
Okay, Sammy Watkins.
Not Sammy Watkins.
I don't know who Benjamin is.
More context, Kareem. You're killing it though.
Is that first name? Last
Love the
name?
effort. I love the effort.
Either way, it's none of the.
There's no Benjamin on the list. Front or end.
Just throw up a name that might fit. It's first name or last name.
I should know these things.
Come on. I know, nigga. This is the kingdom, man.
I'm just mucking it up today. My brain's so
2015. All right. So the number 12 pick that year was for the Cleveland Browns, Washington defensive tackle, teammate of Marcus Peters, Danny Shelton. Danny Shelton was the number 12 pick that year.
I didn't realize number
15. Number 15. A running back from Wisconsin, San Diego Chargers, selected Melvin Gordon, also became a member of the Chiefs. Number 19, offensive tackle from Florida State, John Harrison. Let's go. Yes, DJ Humphries was the number 24 pick from Florida Gators, Arizona. And then 19 was Cameron Irving, offensive tackle, Florida State. to Cleveland. So, yeah, the Chiefs like these former first-round picks. Evidently, it was a Dorsey thing, too.
It became a Veach thing.
Veach has kind of carried that on. And I'm guessing, Ted Thompson, all that, that Green Bay flavor coming down from Wolf to Ted Thompson to
some of that Green Bay flavor, huh?
Yes.
That's
to
right.
Dorsey, then Veach. But Veach also had, some of that Philly flavor with Howie Roseman.
That's right.
So, all right, gang. This was a swing and a miss by yours truly. So evidently we'll go a different direction next time.
Miss,
but we do appreciate you playing along. John, thanks for getting the right answer. And as always, maybe for the last time, brought to you by Underdog Sports.
Yeah, they may want to reconsider.
Yes, sir.
So with this said, let's get right into our sponsor, Underdog.
Of the day.
You're thinking of Sammy Watkins, Benjamin. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is.
Baseball is back.
That's right. Baseball is back on Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you cash in today. You can play the pick'em game. It's very similar to what you did with the NFL. We're doing the Chiefs stuff. Now it's all about baseball, and especially the Royals. You can go higher or lower. It's really simple to use. Their app is amazing. You just choose your entry fee. You decide what you want to play, and you just see the winnings coming if you know what you're doing. So take a swing today and make sure that you sign up for Underdog Fantasy, and they're going to give you a meatball right off the gamut, Bobby Wood Jr. special. So start with a W for your first entry and new customers. Make sure you use the code Chiefs Blitz. That's right. Play 5, you get up to $50 in bonus points. And now legal in Missouri, Kansas, and in a lot of the states, I think 32, 33 states overall.
Yes, sir.
So check the restrictions in each state and make sure you use that code Chiefs Blitz.
So with that said, let's get into our top 5 4 guys in the bar, top 5 tight ends. I hope you got your handy dandy notebook out.
And I got my notes right here.
Ready to go. So
I'm Steve from Blues Clues. I appreciate the meme there. Hensley.
Blues Clues.
Yeah, let's do it. Hey.
So what you got for your top 5 tight ends is going into the draft? I know some people are going to look at the graphic and say, how did he end up there? Yeah.
Jared Wiley, he doesn't have the coat on. Where's the jacket?
I didn't put the jacket on.
He should be wearing the jacket, man.
But you
keep hearing all these people talking about the Chiefs, and they have to look to tight end and so forth, and you never hear the name Jared Wiley come up, and it's almost like they've erased him from their memory. Yeah. He gets hurt. And now it's like, forget him. We got to go get somebody.
Right.
We got to give the guy a shot.
He'll get a shot halfway through the season.
My goodness. So yeah, they may draft a tight end. We'll see. But the guys at the top of the list. I mean, I've been touting Warren since early in the season. Penn State guy. He's a little bit different. You got Loveland too, more of a classic tight end. Warren can do just about everything. They've got him playing wildcat. They've got him throwing the ball, wildcat quarterback that is, playing receiver, playing tight end, playing fullback. I mean, you can line him up just about everywhere. I liken him to a little bit to Taysom Hill. Obviously, he doesn't have the quarterback skills that Hill has, but everything else you have. He can certainly play on special teams. He can certainly, play out wide. You can line him up inside. He's a decent blocker. I don't know if that's like a major thing in his game, but I think he's the most dynamic of them all. Then Loveland, classic tight end. This kid's going to be a player, Michigan dude. They're all about the same size, these top guys, 6'5", 6'6", between 240 and 260, and just about all of them can run. So I don't know that you can go wrong really with any of them, but I just think Warren has a lot more added abilities in other things that he can do. And I think that kind of makes him a potential top 10 pick. Said the same thing about Brock Bowers last year, but you saw him slide. And there was no reason for it. I think it was just other teams. All those quarterbacks went. So that pushed him down and things like that. So you don't have as many quarterbacks this year. So I truly think Warren can go in that top 10. I've got Mason Taylor third. You can see And you could certainly flip him with Arroyo from Miami. Again, they're both 6'5". They can run. Don't truly major in blocking, but they certainly are willing blockers. But in terms of receiving tight ends, Arroyo might be able to get down the field a little bit better than Taylor. But certainly Taylor's got all the intangibles, obviously the bloodlines, Jason Taylor and Zach Thomas and his family line. So those guys, those four, I think, for me, are a lock in the 4. When you get to 5, for me, you've got a kid that the Chiefs have brought in, Fannin Jr. from Bowling Green. He's a little shorter. He's 6'3", big dude, really excelled in the MAC. Let's see how it translates. I think he's going to be able to do it. Again, these guys above him, to me, are just a little bit better athletes. He might be a little bit bigger, but these guys, a little bit more wiggle, a little bit more shake to their game. So I would say those are my top 5. And if you had to throw in a few guys that are in contention, maybe Gunnar Helm from Texas, I would say Terrence Ferguson from Oregon. And again, all these guys are like 6'5", 6'6". And then maybe a little bit of a long shot or sleeper, Rondé Gadsden II. Obviously, his dad played for the Dolphins. He was a big wide receiver, and I think the kid is basically the same thing. So I don't know if he's a classic tight end, but that's how they have him listed. So, again, Warren, Loveland, Taylor, Arroyo, Fannin Jr., and those are my top 5.
What about you, Coach Dre?
I got the same thing, man. Ain't too many great tight ends in this draft for real. Ty Warren to me is an all-around tight end. I mean, the man's clutch. He got good hands. He got sweet hands, man. Shout out to Lou. Loveland, like, he's cool from Michigan. I like him. He's a decent blocker as a tight end. Arroyo is probably one of the best route running tight ends coming out this draft from Miami. I do like him. I definitely like his upside. He can stretch the field. I think he'll be very impactful when any offense he goes to. Especially my Bengals. Especially my Bengals, man. My Bengals would definitely love to have that young stud right there. Shout out to Bo for giving him some love from the U. That was one of Bo's picks, man. He just fell off the board. He just fell off the damn list, man. You know what I'm saying? Fell off the list. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened.
He fell off my list. He fell off, my draft list for the Chiefs because they, as you look at the image there, you see number 12 in the back said, "Hey, I'm still here. I still have on the golden jacket. It doesn't matter if it don't fit him. He still will wear it." But again, the kid, I feel like, but all these guys that's coming out could be a great fit for, Andy Reid's office. I really like the kid from Oregon, Ferguson. I feel like he's up and rising, could be that type of Travis Kelce style pass catcher. He got speed, he got hands. I liked everybody. Everybody else is cool to me, but the kid from Oregon is got to be one of my favorites that's coming out. But it's me looking at the Chiefs depth chart. They got Noah Gray, Travis Kelce, but they got the golden jacket kid still there, man. I know he's coming off injury. I know he's be there, but that would be, that's why I got him on the screen. I feel like he's going to be one of the, the Chiefs. Why the Chiefs don't draft for tight end? Because they already got the guy that's
drafting a tight end. No question.
So what are your top 5, Nick?
Well, I mean, obviously, Tyler Warren is the creme de la creme. I I know a lot of people ESPN has him ranked as the 4th overall draft option, and I'm sorry, I can't go there. I think he's talented. He's got the size. He's got the bulk. The girth, he'll get the 50-51s. He'll certainly go in the top 10. I mean, I like Colston Loveland a little bit better, just because I think he's got better speed. He's obviously not going to fall with the Chiefs, but he's terrific. And I think those are only 2 guys that go in the first round. We've talked about Elijah Arroyo. I think he's their target in the end of the 2nd round or top of the 3rd round. I really think he goes that far. I like Terrence Ferguson a whole bunch. I think he would be really good. He's got a good 40 time. I think he'd be a perfect guy to learn under Travis Kelce. Two guys I like after that. I like Fannin Jr. a lot from Bowling Green. As Hense said, he's a guy that I think has a lot of, upside. He got a lot of catches. And if you want a sleeper, maybe in the third, fourth round, Jalen Conyers out of Texas Tech. I believe they had a visit with him, 6'4", 260 pounds. I like his game too, and bring another Texas Tech player to the Chiefs. But those are the guys that I like the most. Now, do I think the Chiefs are going to draft a tight end? 100%, absolutely. Second, third round, I think they nab one of these guys because I think they want some insurance. Because even though Wiley is got the gold jacket from Hense, he won't be effective until October, maybe November. For him to be kind of back at full speed, it takes a full year to recover from an ACL. And it takes a good year and a half, so 2026, I think he's going to be, really ready to rock and roll. So I think the Chiefs are going to hedge their bet and they're going to grab a tight end here. Probably.
Question for Hense.
What's that?
Question for Hense. If Wiley and Ferguson were in the same draft, who are you taking?
I'm taking Wiley.
Oh, whatever.
Okay.
I'm taking Wiley. The size, the blocking skills,
Yeah.
He just looked like the guy from Rocky, man, that would beat up Rocky and the Russian guy. That's what he reminds me of. But yeah,
here's the thing. I think between those two guys, I think you're getting basically the same guy.
Yeah, the same guy.
So I don't know. I don't know that you need another tight end that's basically cut from that cloth. So I don't know,
Universal
Nick,
soldier
that they go tight end because of that. And they just extended Noah. He's got at least 2 more years to play. To use a top 3, like in the third round, like one of those top 4 picks that they have kind of close together on a tight end just seems to me like it would be overkill. Because I mean, unless the guy just came in and was lights out. Even then, Kelsey's going to play a lot, going to eat up a lot of snaps. I get it. This is his last year, so you get kind of grooming guys.
Maybe.
I think that's where Noah and Jared come in. If they do go for a tight end, maybe later in the draft, or is Hendershot? Is he like on the practice squad, or is he?
I think he's on the practice squad,
still in the picture. Mistaken. So that's a guy, in terms of an emergency, was here for most of the last year, at least the second half of the year. And so you don't have to get him up to speed. He's not really a big receiving tight end, but you can use him in those multiple packages where he's not really, the number one target and the number one receiver. So, I think John Harrison doubling down. John, I think I remember that year. It was either 80 or 81.
That was the kid from South Carolina, right?
And this would have been, I'm trying to think, who was Lynn Stiles the GM then? Was he that old?
No, if it was an 81, that was still Jim Schaff. I don't think Lynn was in.
Yeah, but there was one like that. Like I said, they drafted 3 tight. There was so many curious drafts back in those days where it was like they were completely clueless as to what the draft process was or what it meant or how you build a team, because they were just bereft of talent for about 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, that was the Makovic years, wasn't it?
Wow, he was in there.
He was there from 80 to 86 or 81 to 85, something like that.
Because right after Stram, was it Paul Wiggin?
It was Paul Wiggins, and it was then it was Makovic. No, it was Bettis, then Wiggins, then Makovic.
Wow.
And then it was
I'm getting chills. I don't want to think about it.
It was Frank Gantz after that, and then obviously Carl came in 89.
Well, you got Lou over here getting chills, man.
I almost threw up in my mouth. I just don't want to think about that anymore.
I was actually close friends with Bettis's daughter.
And, I bet you were.
It was. I remember the day he got fired.
That's right.
It was pretty sad for her.
I bet you would. Hey, that's my favorite line, Lou. That's my favorite line to go to when I tell you, I bet you did.
He said, I bet you was.
That's right.
But
nothing wrong with that.
Let's get into these questions, guys. It's only 2 weeks until draft, guys. It's a lot that's happening.
That's just crazy.
It's crazy. It's sneaking up on us very fast. I want to ask y'all, can the Chiefs duplicate their recent draft success with this draft class this year? Go ahead, Nick.
I'm not going to rule against Brett Veach. I think we kind of analyzed his draft class a couple of weeks ago, and I think we all agree that the first one stunk. The second one was okay. The third was better. The fourth was great. In this past year, obviously, was very good. I think it's going to be very difficult for the Chiefs to have a bad draft because there is so much depth at the areas.
You better knock on wood right there. He's putting the kiss of death on him right now.
Of all the areas of need that this football team has,
you can't screw this up.
You can't screw it up. Offensive line, defensive line, wide receiver, tight end, running back, pass rusher. I mean, they can hit on all those because, again, they're in a position based on their offseason to be able to pick the best athlete, that they need for that position. They've got a good coaching staff who coaches players up. So again, that's my basis. It's almost impossible unless you're the Cleveland Browns, the New York Giants, or any of the bottom feeders in the draft that are going to screw this up. For a seasoned guy like Brett Veach, he's going to be wheeling and dealing. The Chiefs are going to probably have more picks in 2 weeks than they do now. And I think it's quite possible that, you're going to see Brett really be very active. This is an important draft for him because he's losing a lot of bodies next year. And he's losing a lot of guys who were key contributors for this football team. And he's got some big decisions to make with some guys he has to sign, notably George Karlaftis and Trent McDuffie, who is going to get a $100 million contract, whether that's from Kansas City or not. But so that's why this draft is really, really important. And that could be why Albert Breer mentioned that about getting a young cornerback. So we'll see. But I don't think Brett Veach is going to screw this up. And I think it's going to be a signature draft for him, just because there are just so many quality guys in rounds 1 through 4 where they're going to have the bulk of their picks.
Hell, man. Well, Veach always been a 3 out of 5 guy. Like you said, you can't screw it up. I don't see him duplicating it. I believe he'll make. Because they got 8 picks. So damn, I don't know. But see, I don't know. We don't know. I hope like hell he don't. But no, I don't think he will. I don't think Veach is going to hit home with this one. I really don't. It's going to be probably two guys it might hit with, but other than that, I don't see this man really hitting strong on this one, man. I don't see it.
All right, what do you got, Lou?
I don't see it, man.
Well, can he duplicate their recent success? I mean, that's the other thing that we really have to kind of qualify, because we say that 22 class was amazing, right? How many of those guys are going to get second deals?
Yeah, that's the problem.
George and Trent.
He's a big mate.
You like to think so. And for all, as much as I love George, is he an elite pass rusher?
Nope.
Is he still? I think he's still improving, just because of the fact he came to football late in his life.
And he's been working with Tom Holly.
So he may still be ascending, and that's, I'm sure internally those are the discussions that they're having, right? Certainly their second round pick isn't coming back, Sky Moore, right?
Right.
Third round was Cook and Derek Kennard. Kennard's already gone.
Kennard's gone.
Does Cook come back? We'll see. I mean, he's going to have a big season this year, you would think.
I would sign.
I mean, I don't want to rain on his parade. All those guys played a role in winning championships. So you have to say they did their job in terms of they were needed and they came through for the most part, right? But I don't know how many of them actually are going to be long-term Kansas City Chiefs. Joshua Williams, obviously, the jury's out on him. I don't know that they like him, or if they do like him.
No, you like him, Lou.
Something's going on with him that they just didn't feel that he they could use him last year playing down the stretch.
It's what the eyes can see. He was so whacked down the stretch.
Not Nazi, you know. Jalen Watson, I could see for sure. I like him a lot. I think they can bring him back.
Jalen Watson, very serviceable.
And I don't think Pacheco's gets a second contract from the Chiefs. So
no.
So I just think this question's a little bit different. I mean, can he duplicate it? Yes, because he has drafted guys that have come in, filled roles, and done what they needed to do. I don't know that any of, again, outside of Trent, is a superstar,
right,
or will be a superstar. Trey Smith, maybe, right? But just looking at this class, if all the reports that you hear and you read are on the money in terms of the defensive line and some of the other position running back were positions that are deep, the chances of really messing up should be minimized. So I agree with you there, Nick. And unless they just completely go off the rails or start pushing guys up that they don't need to, I can certainly see him having a very good draft. I don't see why not. Mm-hmm. And like you said, if they're so far, every team has their first round pick. It's like almost unprecedented that none of the picks have been traded, right?
So far.
So that leads me to believe that when you get to the middle of the first round, because I think everybody's boards are going to be so different from the others that you're going to see a lot of trades because what you value may not be what I value, and you want to get up to get your guy. So I think the trades will start flying like around the 10th or 11th pick, maybe even at 9 if somebody wants Shedeur Sanders. But I certainly, to answer the question, yes, absolutely. He can have a successful draft as far as duplicating what he's done. That would be like admitting what he's done has been like great. I think it's been very good, but to say it's been
good enough to win 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls.
Right. And again, those guys plugged in. I don't
doesn't
think,
mean
again,
you can retain. You're right.
All due respect to Hense, I don't know that there's any gold jackets in that group.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of gold jackets if he look at Kareem.
There are in your closet.
Kareem said if he listened to him, he can nail it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, Kareem. I mean, he's every NFL.
Before we go, Demetrius got a question.
Every NFL team sends somebody to Utah to go knock on Kareem's door just to say, "Hey, dude, come out of hiding. We need your help. Come on, let's go."
Hey, Demetrio, it's in May that they have to exercise the 5th-year option.
I think by May 1st.
Yeah,
but to answer the draft. To answer the question, I think he can because this is a heavy defensive class that's coming out. Probably one of the best defensive line class of pass rushers that you probably see in some decades. So I'll probably say yes. You know what I mean? If he hits right, you know what I mean, and he stick true to the board, I think he can get it done. Yep. And with that said, what will be the biggest surprise in 2 weeks? I'm gonna go ahead and answer this question here.
Do it.
I want to answer it first. I think the biggest surprise is going to be the Arizona Cardinals taking, I think they're going to take Sanders at they pick. They got Kyler Murray. You don't know what you got in Kyler Murray, and I feel like that be a surprise that he falls right there to the Arizona Cardinals, and the Arizona Cardinals take, Shedeur Sanders.
If they have a trade partner to get rid of, their short quarterback, then that's fine.
Yep. I don't think
either quarterback's going to be good enough.
Wasn't on the script I got.
Now, I think my biggest surprise for real, honestly, guys, because what the Chiefs need right now, and a lot of people ain't talking about it, man, is this guy Ryan Fitzgerald, 5'11", man, one of the best prospects coming out this year in the draft, man. The man accuracy, man, top tier, man. The power is right there, man. I'm telling y'all guys, his boot, man, that foot, man, I'm telling you. Mark my words, man. I'm thinking 70 yarders, man. So that's a guy I think that they should really look at, like, you know what? Why not get a great guy at special teams that can put the Chiefs in the right position, man, when times are needed? overtime games. Now the overtime rules is in fact right now. You need a guy that can get Mahomes that quality help. And my thing is, guys, why not really put some love on the special teams guy and boost that up to help the lacking of the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line?
Biggest surprise.
Well, that's certainly one man's opinion, and it's not a very good one. So
I don't know. I don't know how big a surprise it would be, but I believe that the two running backs are going to go in the top 12.
Okay.
I think Ashton Jenney and Omarion Hampton are going to go. Genty, I would say ceiling might be like the Raiders, floor might be like the Bears. And then I don't know if Dallas will do it, but it just seems like it would be so against what they've done in the past that it just makes sense that it would happen, that they would take Hampton and like pick 12. What pick does Arizona have?
16.
16. That's why I said if he falls
we
there,
ain't kicking no damn Shador. We ain't kicking no goddamn Shador. There ain't no way in God's hell we ain't taking that.
A lot of people, it'd be a lot of happy.
Shador, he's cool too though. I like Shador, but we ain't taking no damn.
Think about it. They coach the Arizona coach. That wasn't Kyler. He didn't draft Kyler Murray. So his job could be on the line. Okay, I'm gonna take my quarterback here. If he falls right to 16.
No protection, no defensive help in the front. But we're gonna take another quarterback.
They had the fourth pick last year, and they took a wide receiver. So I think that tells you what they feel about Kyler Murray. But yeah, I guess it would be a surprise if they did go quarterback for sure.
Yeah, they have a trade partner for Kyle Murray. Absolutely. I think that wouldn't shock me at all.
What'll be your biggest surprise, Nick?
Everybody's talking about Joshua Simmons to the Chiefs, and I think it's great. And I think what's that?
I said, not me.
I still think I would be shocked if he's there at 31. And
I think you go to the 49ers.
Yeah, I think they need they need someone for Trent. I know everybody's focusing on this kid. I still think defensive line is the bigger need. But that injury, that patella tendon tear or rupture, you just don't know. That's the same injury that that Niang had, and he never recovered from it. And now I think the work ethic between those two guys is on the opposite end of the spectrum. To where I think Simmons is a guy who's, he took it seriously from day one, and Niang never did work out or do his rehab properly, and he never really made an impact on the field. I think that would be surprise number one. Surprise number two would be that Sanders falls to the end of the first round. So that would be a big surprise, and I don't think the kid's got it. I think he has to go to a team that's in that 20 range to 30 range to make an impact in the NFL. He's got to go to the right team. And all the bottom feeders, unless he's going to the Bears, they don't need a quarterback. I don't see a fit.
Yeah, they're not taking him.
I know. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
I cheer for chaos. So how about this as a big surprise? Either Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe go ahead of Shador Sanders.
Right.
Like chaos.
That wouldn't shock me. That wouldn't shock me.
To Pittsburgh or to the Rams, right? I mean, the Rams are a team that, they used to be back, a few years ago was like F them picks. We're gonna make trades. We're gonna get free agents, everything else. But now they've completely rebuilt their team through the draft.
The Buffalo
through like
Bills
the middle rounds for the most part, right? So I could certainly see them, and then McVay goes on, the other day, or I think it was at the league meetings where he said, well, I really haven't done much work on the quarterbacks yet this year. Like, okay, you're the offensive play caller. You're the boy genius. He hasn't done any work on the quarterbacks. Okay.
Savion Williams going to the Buffalo Bills to slap the kingdom in the grill. Savion Williams go to the Buffalo Bills and have a great goddamn season. thanks to Mr. Gold Jacket himself, man. Because they say, you know what? The Chiefs owe us.
In the first
Take
round.
Savion Williams. Buffalo Bills get stout because of the knowledge of both over here. Gave all the attributes, and the Buffalo Bills paid attention. Shout out to Bills Mafia. Savion Williams is going to the Buffalo Bills, man.
There'll be a surprise, you know, going in the first round, but actually a surprise, like Lou said, Nick said, is Sanders going, you know, he's just falling and falls out of the first round. You know what I mean? But it depends on what team he goes with. I don't see him get, you know, I think Cleveland is just throwing out there because they want to trade out that number 2 pick. I think they still takes it, you know, Sanders there, you know what I mean? I feel like they got to. You're going to go into season with, you know, the guys you have, or are you going to go in, you know, then you're right, dog, you know, you put your other, you put Deshaun Watson under the bus, let him know that you don't want him there no more. No matter what, you know what I mean?
That's the biggest elephant in the room. I mean, he just called it out, and I think he knew that before he got hurt. He was gone as fast as they could get him out of there when they did that restructure of the deal or whatever. But one of the answers to our Chiefs trivia question, Kenny Pickett there. Who knows if Kirk Cousins becomes available through a trade? Yeah. He goes to Cleveland. So I can see Cleveland maybe at the top of the second round. If they feel that Shedeur is going to fall, they're not going to waste the second round pick. Nobody, I don't think any of these teams at the top, like 2 and 3, do you want to be the team that passes on Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter? You do not want to be that team.
Yeah, I think that would be a huge mistake.
Right. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens if anybody actually trades up. I don't know that if you're trading up, I think it would be for one of those 2 guys. I really don't think you're trading up for a quarterback. It really seems like Tennessee's locked in to Cam Ward at the top.
Right.
So the draft starts at 2, and whether the Browns decide to go Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, the Giants certainly are going to go with the guy that's left over. And then the Patriots are sitting there thinking, why in the hell did we win the last game of the season last year?
Right.
They could have had the first pick, and now they're going to get stuck with none of the top players. So anyway, could be some surprises. We'll be there, though, live streaming.
That's right. Bell to bell, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and a recap maybe on Sunday. We'll see.
Put ESPN up on your TV, we have left. Turn the sound down, and just sit and hang with the guys in the bar.
I got my TV hooked up in my office finally, so it's all good.
Hence will be tipping picks. It's going to be awesome.
I won't do it this year. But
it's all right. No, go ahead.
I got my whiteboard coming. You know, my wife asked me, she said, what do you want for the anniversary? I said, hey, I want a whiteboard.
How big is it, Hense?
It's probably the size of that TV back there.
Like 4 feet by 5 feet, like big. I mean, you could put the entire draft board on there. It's all like your positions, your top 150, everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to have like a separate camera hooked up on it and switch to the different camera, have it there to see the guys that's on the other board.
Get one of the kids to come in with either an eraser or just to put the line through. Guy gets drafted, put the line through him.
Yeah, that's right.
But other than that, man, hey, thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry for us being late. I know a lot of you guys had to get back to work or back to whatever you guys was doing. You know, and again, thank you for always joining in to watch the 4 Guys in the Bar. Thank you for watching us, man. And but again, you want to answer this question before we go?
Yeah, King Mo says, guys, if Golden falls to 31, would you take him over Luther? I'm taking Luther.
It's Golden.
Maybe top one. I mean, to come right back with another Texas wide receiver, that would be interesting.
Why not?
Just from that perspective. Oh no, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that it's a bad idea. I'm just that would be an interesting thing. 2 years in a row, Texas wide receivers in the first round, where they're about the same size. I think Luther gives you a little bit more size, a little bit different flavor of a wide receiver. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that Golden would be a bad pick, just in terms of what the Chiefs already have. He might fit in a little bit better just as a different type or different body type receiver. Because he just, I mean, yards after the catch, big dude. I mean, bigger dude, speed. Again, I'm not reading too much into what was going on, at Missouri last year. He showed me everything I needed to see the first couple of years he was there. So yeah, I'm good with Luther Burden III.
Yep. All right.
But if I had to choose one, I'd take the kid from Texas. Pair him up with Xavier Worthy.
It would be fun to watch.
Yeah, it's Rasheed Rice. He'd be unstoppable for Patrick Mahomes. But other than that, yeah. Guys, there's going to be a great draft show coming up for us. But we got Friday is coming up as well, guys.
2 weeks out, yeah.
2 weeks out.
Tomorrow.
It's just crazy.
It's creeping up on us fast. So with that said, guys, we'll see you guys at 1:30 on Friday if we don't have no technical difficulties. It'll be at 1:30 on Friday.
Approximately.
Approximately.
Right, guys, we'll see y'all on Friday.
Peace. All right, guys.